Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's me, 4Man from 4Man Gaming, and welcome to another Rigs Over Odds vehicle review. Today we're going to take a look at an updated version of the Mercedes Benz CLK pack. Now, this pack currently comes with two vehicles, the regular CLK200 Sport and the CLK230, oh man, I forgot what it was, the CLK230 Compressor Avant-Garde. Now, the two obvious differences you'll see here is that the colors are different. This one's silver, this one's black, and there's different rims for the wheels. And now those are pretty simple. Now, Mitchieboy did comment on my last video review, my last edition of his Mercedes Benz, basically letting me know that there is a newer version available and I'm driving an old version. And I can already tell that the car's still shake, but I'm pretty sure Mitchieboy is going to fix that at some point. Or it might be just a case of some mods, some other vehicles I have installed. But the more important things you got to know about are this new model comes with an upgraded engine. We'll be testing that out later in this video. But we're going to start out with the stock engine itself, the stock vehicle that Mitchieboy originally made, and let's hop inside. Now, the interior, it isn't all that different from the standardized, from the last version that I reviewed. It's the standard wheel, steering wheel, standard stereo, standard everything, but you will notice one slight change. We got blinkers in the interior. Now, if you guys don't know, most vehicles actually have blinkers like this. I think all of them do, actually. But the thing that makes this car different is the fact that Mitchieboy has decided to make these vehicles, and I like how this vehicle performed and who just joined the TeamSpeak. Okay, let's just ignore that and keep driving. Alright, shift down. Now you will notice the engine sounds are the same from the last version. The engine sounds are totally unchanged, which it's kind of good, but Mitchieboy should be getting to updating the engine sounds with something new. Now, for overall and total performance, this vehicle drives perfectly. It feels like you're behind the wheel of one of these cars, and it just feels great. Now, in terms of crashing characteristics, now crashing is one of the most important things to test when you're reviewing a car. Now, I'm going to crash into this building, sort of. Alright, so as you guys can see, the car sustained very little damage. In fact, the only damage I see right now is on the rear end. Okay, it kind of did get the front a little bit. Alright, let's just reset that. And let's go for a building, because I want to do a frontal crash test. Alright, here's a frontal crash test. Now, as you guys can see, Mitchieboy has made the J-beam exactly like the car is, only I don't know how the Mercedes Benz crashes. But you can kind of see, if you look closely, you can kind of see the engine. So let's go into free camera real quick and take a look at the engine. Now, the engine, alright, let me just great, Control C, backspace, Control C. Now, you will notice that okay, I did not know I could use my controller. Now, you will notice that the engine is pretty good. It's detailed. Like, it's detailed enough to the point where you can actually tell it's a Mercedes Benz engine. Now, if I go sort of underneath the car, you know what? I'll just flip the car over. I just don't care anymore. Sorry, Mitchieboy, I'm flipping your car. I'm very sorry, man. Alright, so Control C. So alright, so you guys may be able to notice that the engine, it's like photorealistic to the car, I believe. And now the engine looks good. Everything's modeled all correctly. The exhaust is modeled excelente. But what's most important about the car is the way it drives. It drives extremely well. Like, as you guys saw a minute ago, I was able to keep control of the car the whole time, even at high speeds, even though I flipped the car earlier. But overall, the standard edition is pretty good if you're just looking for an all-around car to drive around maps like these. Speaking of maps, this is Neo Quattro. This map only works with 0.39 and above version of Razor Rod. I have a link to this thread where you can download the vehicle in the description below. Now, we've taken a look at the CLK200 Sport. Now let's go to the compressor Avant-Garde. Now, like I said, there are a few differences. Mitchieboy did clearly state that there is a new engine inside this car, as well as the ability to have folding mirrors, but I'm not going to show that because the mirrors fell off. Now, you will notice the engine is still the same sound, but this engine does pack a little bit more power. In fact, I'm not even sure how much more power this thing packs. But as you guys can see, we're able to hit 60 miles per hour in 4th gear. And something new I'm going to do on these is I'm going to do a head-to-head crash test. Or I'm just going to crash into the other model to show off how well this thing crashes. Whoa! Oh my gosh, how did that happen? That is awesome. Game, good job, game. Let me just rip this thing off. Rip. Alright, so here we go. We're falling. So now, as you guys can see, this car is officially wrecked. But this car, I think, well, the mirror flies off in the distance. This car is sort of like a race edition or something. I'm not exactly sure. I'm sure Mitchieboy, I'm sure you can help me out by commenting. But where is the other car? Oh, I think I already... Yeah, there it is. So let's just crash into this, to the other model and see what happens. Now guys, excuse the frame rate as my computer isn't the best for running two vehicles at the same time. Like, as you guys can see, I'm only getting 12 frames a second. It's not your computer or anything. It's not the video lagging or anything. It's the game itself. Now, as you guys can see, in terms of frontal crash testing, let me rip this thing off of the other car. Now, as you guys can see, the frontal crash test ripped off this headlight. Alright, let me put parking brake on. Ripped off the front bumper and messed up these lights a little bit. Now, this car pretty much is wrecked. It actually did some damage to the rear. Now, as for the Sport model, having a side hit done the way you can see, the window is partially deflected and is invisible on one side. But a side frontal crash test didn't hurt the suspension. In fact, can this thing still drive by itself? So, if you crash it from the side like I did, it's still drivable. It's just kind of going to pull to the right a little bit. Now, as for drivability, both of these cars are highly drivable. Because, just look at this. I'm able to keep 30 miles an hour without even having any issues whatsoever with steering, how much gas intensity I'm putting on, or even just a regular vehicle itself. Now guys, if you are looking to download this car, I will have a link to the thread that Mitchieboy has posted. The download is on the very first page, bottom of that first post. It's about 16 megabyte download, but for 16 megabytes, you get the standard car, which which is your standard all-arounder Mercedes Benz, and you also, let me switch to it, you also get this CLR230 compressor edition, which also drives really well, only I think it's more suited for racing. So guys, this has been an updated version of the Mercedes Benz CLK pack or whatever. Again, links are down in the description for both the map and the vehicles used in this video. And I will give a huge thanks to Mitchieboy for pointing out that I was using an outdated version of the pack. So guys, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next time.